welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
Hi, Reeve.
We were just talking about how I look taller than them. I don't know why, because I sit up straight. Okay,
I'm
anyway.
sitting up straight.
Well, you're short.
We're at my house, obviously, and because their house is in disarray because they're getting ready to move. So that's what in like
Boxes
10 days
everywhere,
ish.
crap everywhere. Yeah.
So well,
Yes.
this one's older now. So we are back. It's early still October, mid October, almost mid.
Yeah.
Fair to middling October, and we are
Mid-October on Monday.
back. It looks like it's summer outside, but we did have tons of rain, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Kind of a change in weather finally. So we're here. Grab your fiber and your sticks and your strings and your favorite beverage, and join us for a little chat. We're gonna sit and talk. I think Beth's going first.
Yes.
I'm gonna make a lot of noise because I have a lot of weird
because
things here. But anyway.
yesterday was my birthday, and along with all the free stuff that that you accumulate, everybody wants you to come and get your free thing.
They're not really free.
Well, it kind of are.
Oh, stop being such a
But
No,
sourpuss.
because you have to bring somebody with you because you got something free, and that person ends up buying stuff.
so I worked. I think
for the noise.
last week I talked about how I worked a little longer on Holiday Stroll, and so I started on the Ferret was my WIP-GO, one of my WIP-GO calls. So I started on the 2nd, and I wanted to work on the Ferret himself because it was I had gone about up to his neck. I had his front paws and part of his back and part of his neck up to here. And so I thought, if I concentrate on his body only, I can probably finish it. And so I didn't work on the little flowers and fronds and stuff around him, the big yellow flowers. I have one of them. I have one flower done from last time I worked on it. And I think there's actually a mistake in there somewhere, but nothing earth-shattering. But so I just concentrated on the Ferret, and he's almost finished. There's like maybe 5 lines down here in his tail, and then he'll be done. And so I worked on him until about 8 days, until the 9th, because I had I did a birthday start on there. So I'm probably going to come back to it just so I can finish those lines on his tail, and then next time I work on it, whenever, I'll work on the fronds and it'll be done. So I'm trying to get through because these are.
How many years have you been working on it?
I want to say I think it came up on my on the memories, on my phone, and I think maybe 2003. Let me see.
2003 or 23?
I'm 23. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was going to say, there's no way it's that long.
Yeah, these say they're copyrighted 22. So I think I did them the following year, so probably 23. Yeah. So 2 years.
That's not bad.
That's not bad considering that there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
And I finished one. I finished the fox.
Yeah.
Which was the first one, and then all the rest of these, I'm trying to get at least get the animals done, if not all the stuff around them. And so, and most of like the number 2, the swans, is almost like kind of like the Ferret, almost all the way done. And I think the surrounding stuff, fronds and stuff are done or whatever, are mostly done. So anyway, so that's the Ferret. Oops, I need to get that out. And then so yesterday for my birthday start, I have 2 new starts every month, and so one of them, I decided I would do on my birthday. So this is the chart that Teresa Shuckle. I'm always shy about her name because I know one of the ways I want to say it is wrong. I don't know. But anyway, she sent me this Dutch Winter. This is a prairie. I meant to say the fair is Cottage Garden samplings, and that's like 32 count linen that I dyed myself for that. This is Dutch Winter. This is by Twin Peak Primitives, and she bought me the whole kit thing. So it comes with this beautiful canvas project bag that has the picture printed on it, and it comes with a little bag of goodies. And in that bag of goodies was this little
Needle minder.
my brain was saying lightsaber. And it's like, no, it's not a lightsaber.
Oh,
Needle
wow.
minder. I knew it was a word that I knew, but it also has the picture, the Dutch Winter picture printed on it. And so this is a 28 count Lugana that I dyed the other day, and it's I didn't iron it before I started. It just wrinkled, but it works, and it's all DMC threads and all that. So I was able to start it, and I started in the middle, and this little branch thing, and this is the male farmer. This is his little hat and part of his shoulders there. So I'm probably going to work on this a little bit more. I don't know, because I'm going to go back to the fair and finish it, and then maybe finish a little bit more of this, and then I have to start my other WIP. And in the meantime, we're also packing, so I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done, but whatever. So there's that, and then I have a little bit of birthday haul. One thing that was really nice was my friend Brandy sent me a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and we'll insert some pictures. And she also sent me this little note that came with the flowers. But she said, she was wishing me a happy birthday and all that from her and her dog, Madeline. So that's nice. Thank you, Brandy. And then, so last night we had a little birthday get-together thing, and got some presents. And one thing that, like, Eve gave me, that bottle holder that she showed a few weeks ago that she had been crocheting.
I was making it for her all along.
Yeah.
That's why it was blue.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I didn't bring it with me because it's in my room. My bottle is in there. And then Rachel, my sister-in-law, gave me this diamond painting thing, which is another thing I haven't done. I am going to start on. I have some crochet kits, and now I have this diamond painting set to do something new, and I have a punch needle kit, a little kit.
What's the picture of that? It's an elephant?
It's an elephant, yes. You can't, there's not a big picture of it, but there's a teeny picture up here.
It's an elephant looking down at a reflection of himself.
Yeah.
Pretty. That'll be fun.
Yeah, so this,
And
like
I
I said,
haven't started on mine either because I wanted to wait till after we moved because
Yeah.
I didn't want to be in the middle of
yeah,
little beads everywhere. So she and I can learn how to do it together.
yeah. And in the new house, we'll have a craft room dedicated for this stuff, and so yeah, we can make a mess in there and not impact the rest of the house. And then my nephew gave me this little Lego kit, and this is another thing I've never done before. I've never done any Lego anything.
You could tell she wasn't a parrot of boys.
Yeah. So this is snowman
cute.
ornaments is what it is.
They're so cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
He saw those and he was like, oh. He says, does Aunt Beth like Legos? I'm like, she's going to like those. Because they're nice and small.
Is that a lantern or something, or that he's holding, or
I don't know. Looks like it. Maybe he's
I don't know. I can't tell. But this one is like
holding this one has a what's that called?
A candy cane.
A candy cane.
And a present looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like a lantern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cute. Or maybe it's like a hot cocoa. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
But
But it's very cute.
Yeah.
Does it have it looks like it has rings to hang them with.
Yeah. As
Very
little
cute.
hooky things.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lantern. See, it's got the yellow thing,
Yeah.
clear
Yeah.
yellow thingy in there.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're caroling or something. Or
Yeah.
very cute.
Here we come, Glossary.
Yeah. And then Naomi gave me this little hoop kit,
That's
a
very cool.
double-sided hoop case. So you can put a hoop in here. This side doesn't open all the way up, but so you can put there's like a little hoop
I
in
got
there.
her a new hoop. That's the right kind, right? Or do you like?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So you can, there's a hoop case here, and then on this side is a double-sided little notions pouch thing. So it opens up, and there's let me take these out. There's a zipper pouch on this side and a zipper pouch on this side, so you can,
I thought that was real nice.
yeah, you can open it up and stick all
Yeah.
your stuff in there, your scissors and your threads and whatever goes in there.
And I didn't buy you any scissors because you're an addict.
Yes, I have a bazillion of them. As a matter of fact, one of my
I almost bought a pair of scissors, and I thought there is not a pair of scissors here that she doesn't already have.
yeah, there's a in one of my bags there's a little teeny weeny little stork scissor thing that I bought it at I think it was a midsummer stitch. I think it's a little tiny pair of scissors about this big, and the scissor part is about this big. They're tiny. As a matter of fact, when I stick my fingers in them, my thumb gets stuck in there. And then this little needle threader. And as a matter of fact, I have one of these, but the little tip,
The
because
cover?
it's so tiny,
Oh.
it's bent a little,
Oh.
you know. So this is perfect. They're very tiny, and they're really good because they fit in smaller scissor.
That's what I
needle
thought.
eyes better than. Because I have like those flat metal kind, not the kind with the wire. I don't like those.
They
But
break.
they just and but
pull out.
the just a flat metal one that has a hook on either end, a big hook and a little hook.
But my problem with those is that I've experienced in the past that it cuts the thread. You know, because it's
Weakens it.
Because no, it just like literally cuts it.
Oh no.
Because it's so sharp because it's metal.
But
It hasn't happened every time. Just
yeah,
I've experienced.
for me the problem is just that they're a little big, and trying to get like because I usually stitch with 2 threads, get them over there and get the thing in there. It just
I was trying.
But-
I was looking at all the threaders because,
Mhm.
and I have one of those little guys, and I was looking at those flat ones. But then I was looking at the cross stitch needles, and I thought those eyes aren't big enough. But that's small enough to go in the cross stitch needle. I
And what the nice thing about this is if you're stitching like with 1 thread on a small needle in a higher count, these are perfect because it'll it's very 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 tiny, and it'll grab a single thread very easily.
And then
And then it has a little, and then this little needle case, needle case. It's a tin magnetized, I think.
I love mine.
Little metal box. Yes. So these can go in the little pouch area. Yeah. So
happy birthday!
yeah, look at my birthday stuff.
Is that
Now I
you?
Caught the zipper because I can't.
So are you
close it.
done?
Yes, I think I'm done.
You're going next, Stevie?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So right now I'm working on Wolf by Pigeon Coop, Max Pigeon. I'll show you the picture, not the pattern, so just a second. Flip the page. You're starting to see a wolf show up.
It's so small. I keep expecting it to be. I don't know why. I've seen it before. But just because I guess the picture is like the whole page, so you think it's going to be that size. But that's really pretty.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't stop yawning.
I realized I didn't get any threads out or anything.
So this only goes up to Friday. So it doesn't have yesterday where it rained all day. It rained. And I looked at the rainfall totals, and Ahwatukee it said 0.73 inches. I'm
Wow.
like, there is no way it was only 0.73 inches.
It was
Because in my backyard, this morning, I walked through at least 2 inches of rain,
Yeah.
of rainwater, but it was an accumulation.
Yeah,
So
of course.
anyway, this is Under the Sea temperature chart designed by myself for Three Sisters Creative. And I'm getting down toward the bottom there. This is
Nice.
where I am. This is almost all the way to the bottom, and I did a little seahorse there.
Oh, this guy, little guy here.
The temperatures were not very low. Considering the fact that it was dark and gloomy and cloudy and all that, it still was on the 10th yesterday, no, day before yesterday, it was still 91 degrees. You know, so the humidity outside, you walk outside and you're like, I am so hot. Because it just turned the heat wet, as
Yeah.
Naomi says.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just made it just like, ugh. I
Muggy,
thought cold.
muggy,
I thought
muggy.
cold and humid was unpleasant. No. And I lived in Florida. Okay, I lived in Florida. I've experienced wet heat before. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it. Okay, I'm just not. So this is We Do Geek by Crazy Stitch. And this is where I am. And I'm kind of skipping all over the place.
Oh, that's cool.
So I have the same thread that I went around magic with, which is a colorist thread. I have that, and then I compared it with a shiny thread for the castle.
Nice.
I'm trying to decide if I want to do Once Upon a Time in the same color as this brownish black grayish color.
I think you should do it in magical pink.
Oh, Robert will love that. Well, actually, Cinderella's dress is blue.
Oh, there you go.
And then I have been trying to work on, I have not gotten as many threads in as I would have liked, but I have done some work on it. On Mini Snowman Snuggles, Heaven and Earth Designs. And I do have a picture of what it looked like last week, and I may or may not put it here. But
Did you have to rip stuff out?
no,
Oh.
no, this is progress.
Oh, I see.
Actual progress. It's just, when you look at it like this, it's hard to tell unless you look at last week's.
Right.
And then you're like, oh yeah, there is progress there. It's just filled in a little bit more. You know,
Mm-hmm. That's good.
one thread when I work on it, but I've been doing a lot of packing, and where I stitch is a disaster area, so yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to even get into wanting to do anything. This morning, after I did my morning stitch, I just kind of was like, I don't want to stitch anything, so I just kept packing stuff. I did some more work on the Darth Vader. I don't remember what they call him in this. Not a lot, because I can't tell you how much I hate working with black thread or black yarn.
Yep. It's the worst.
So I'm on the rounds to make it a dimensional, and then you do all this stuff in the middle here for him to go. What do they call him in this thing? We were laughing at that.
Space
remember?
Lord or Space something like that.
Evil Space Lord or something like that.
Dark Lord of the Galaxy. Yeah, so, but I'll probably pack this until after the move. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's so hard. It was like deciding, I don't need that. Because that's how I ended up spending this last winter, like with no winter clothes. Because we packed like, in August or something, and I naively
It was
thought,
like June.
I don't know when it was, but it was
more
in the
like
summer. And I remember naively thinking we were going to sell the house, right away or whatever. And I didn't even think past my nose, as my father used to say, about, winter things. So, yeah. So I froze all last year.
No, I
Oddly enough.
lent you my sweater.
But you have to figure, like, if I put it away, will I be able to get it out quickly if I want to
Right.
work on it?
Yeah.
Or am I just going to put it away until I unpack?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hard. I hate,
Yeah.
that's why I hate that kind of thing. The logistical nightmare of moving.
It's like, I'm packing stuff, but I'm not like packing it. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're gonna pack it like that. I'm not putting it in a box. I'm just not. So I did some more work on the reindeer. As I said, I have the 11 of the
Oh, wow.
6-sided ones.
Those are
And-
cute.
And I now have 4 of the legs. So
Yeah,
now I
this
need
is-
4 more legs. And then a couple more shapes. And then I can put them together. But I have 2 legs worth, and part of me wants to go, but I can put these together. And I can put them together and have those
Mhm.
legs. But that tells you about how they're actually quite large, because the little legs are,
Well, that's neat.
so. Then, excuse me,
There she goes yawning again.
I haven't been sleeping. I try to go to sleep and all I do is worry about the move.
Mm.
So I did the icing with the gumdrops on top of the
Gingerbread.
gingerbread roof.
Is that this here?
Yeah.
Cute.
And then this here is gonna be little sweaters. You could kind of see a sweater here, where see the body of the sweater and the little arms.
Oh, how funny.
And then when you put more than one sweater on top, it looks more like a sweater
I
because
see.
you've got something holding the middle to make it look like the
That's
dip.
cute.
And she used all the colors. But what I think I'm going to do is this color and this color right here, and this color, and maybe white.
Mm. Yeah.
Because I'm not
That's
going
gonna be
I'm not
cool.
going to do a million rows.
That's cute.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying doing this, but I'm considering putting this away until after the move.
So no more drinks get spilled in the bag.
Just because there's no peace in the room that I'm in,
Yeah.
and it's difficult for me to concentrate on.
And with a project that big,
yeah.
you have to be like in a place where you can pull the whole thing out.
Right.
And, yeah, that's a very
Exactly
hard.
right.
That's very hard.
So, yeah, so I might just have cross stitch out
Mhm.
and only I have a bag with just a couple of cross stitches in it. And, that's what I'll do. So that's
That's me. All right. If you remember last week, I had just the top of my ranunculus sweater done, and the amazing part, and the reason people love this, is that it goes very fast. And so, I have gotten through the whole yoke, and I even separated for sleeves. And so you put the stitches for the sleeves on the waist yarn. You can see my yellow yarn hanging out there. And you can see how kind of see-through it is with the light behind me. And I just this morning, it's gone very fast. This has been basically a week's worth of work, which is for me a big deal. And and having done the top part 4 times. So just this morning I separated for sleeves, and I've already done, let's see, I have my little measuring tape on here. I've already done an inch and a half of the underarm body. So now I'm just whipping around in a circle, and this is very small, like fingering weight yarn. It's this purple color here, and so now it's just going to go fast as we go spinning along. And then did I say I tried it on? Did I say that?
No.
I tried it on this morning, or just this afternoon before they came over here, and I don't have a picture of it on me, but it fits perfectly. I was really worried about the armholes because I don't like a tight armhole, and I plan to wear this probably either over a turtleneck or over a button-up white shirt, and so I didn't want it to be super, super tight. And I tried it on over this shirt, and it's fine because I didn't measure it before I separated the sleeves, and I'm like, I probably should have done that. But I really like this pattern, and I will probably make another. When I'm done, I'm going to make long sleeves on it, probably like bracelet length, maybe to about here, so that if I wear a long sleeve white shirt, I can fold the cuffs back over it, and I think it would look real nice. I'm already thinking about making one for Hannah. She kind of liked the idea of, so I'm going to make it long, like to the top of my hips, past my waistband, because I don't do crop nothing. And I think I'm so short that actually a crop thing makes me look shorter somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Plus, and so all the other problems that come with crop things.
Those are not 20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would wear it up over something, but still, like, then that would leave a long piece of a shirt or something hanging. Yeah. Or if it was if I planned to wear it with a dress, that would be one thing. But anyway, I'm not going to crop it. But when I mentioned it to Hannah, how in its original conception, it was a lot of positive E's, very big and cropped. And she was like, oh, that's cool. So, I probably, when I get this done, will talk with her about making one for her if she wants one. And just kind of like, I thought although I don't want to work with black, a pretty, like in a lace weight, which would make it even more like see-through.
See if it's open like that, the black wouldn't be as hard to read.
Right. And a lace weight in black that she could wear over, or I also have this vision of her wearing all black and a lace weight sweater like this in a gold. That would be gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Or like a goldy yellow, or like a gold mohair. She likes mohair, so that would just kind of drape on her and be, or white, that would just kind of be, decoration. She could play in it, and I think it would really be beautiful. So, but I really like this pattern. Went super fast. There is a major mistake right in the front, and I'm going to tell you about it, even though you're not supposed to do that. Because and this is my public service announcement.
And you just didn't want to start again.
Oh, no. And I didn't notice it till I was already at the, like, way down here. But up here, there's these like pulled up stitches. Those are all fine. But then there's this slip stitch section. It's this little band right here. and right on the front, right here, I missed a slip stitch. You can, I'll put a picture just for you. You can all enjoy my mistakes. See right there? See how it's supposed to be slipped over? And right here, this is slipped behind.
Oh, yeah.
And it's right on the front. And I thought, if I wear it to work, I'll put my name tag right there. Because there's no way I can fix it. There's no...
Well, I think if you're wearing it, nobody's really going to see it.
No one's going to see it, but it's just like badge of honor right there.
And if they do, they're not your friend.
They're not. If they point it out, they're not your friend. So,
yeah, that's like...
But everything else...
I noticed one stitch in here in the middle of nowhere where there's it's like a half stitch instead of... I didn't cross it. You know, just like... I can't remember to fix that.
Remember our theme? Our theme from many years ago, O.G.I.P. Remember that?
Only God is perfect.
Only God is perfect. So,
yeah.
So this can be O.G.I.P. Volume 2.
Get the evil spirits out.
Yeah, really. So it has a mistake. That's not its only mistake, but somehow when I was doing the increases, so you make what's called a circular yoke, which means your increases are spread out, so it makes a circle like this. And usually circular yokes don't fit under the arms when they finally come down. And that's a complaint that a lot of people have about circular yoke sweaters. But this one combines that circular yoke, and then it does raglan increases, which are like kind of like a baseball shirt increases on both front and back right here. So it combines it. It has circular yoke, and then you do raglan increases, and you can see them right here. And somehow when I did the raglan increases, I wound up with the correct amount of stitches, but between one sleeve and the front, I had one stitch on the sleeve that should have been on the front. So there was one stitch too many on the sleeve count and one stitch too few on the front count. So when I separated the sleeves, I just moved it over. And we're fine. Because it's going to be down here in my armpit, and no one's going to ever notice that it doesn't look exactly perfect right there. So, so
Let
anyway.
me see your armpit.
Let me see the armpit. No, I can't look at this armpit of my sweater. Or you're going to walk around. See? Anyway, that's me. And be like, there's a mistake right here. You want to see it? I'm so awful. But everything else, I mean, the lace part looks good. The little pulled stitches or pulled through stitch thingamabobs, I don't know what they're called. It all looks good, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm excited to block it so that it'll spread out and relax. And I am, like I said, I have about an inch or so on the body, and I have this much left of this ball, and I have like 3 more. So I could make, the long sleeves will be no problem, and I might even be able to make another one with no sleeves with that much yarn that I have left. So anyway, because otherwise you can also just cap it right here, which I don't like cap sleeves, but if I was wearing it over something else, that would be okay. Anyway, so that is all I have been doing. So I will... the other thing I did this week, we'll do question of the week.
Yes.
Okay, because I have a story about what I did this week. Question of the week, last week, so this is question of the week. Last week we asked about your craft spaces, and we got a lot of response. Noreen Curry says that she has an unfinished Minnesota basement, which sounds like just a great place to work, and 2 church tables to use as workspace, as well as putting the 3 layers of quilts together. Oh, that would be nice. I have to use this table plus a folding table, and my that it's not a cutting board, but it's like a big cardboard fold out measuring thing to bridge the gap. That's how I put my quilts together. So lucky you.
Yes.
And then foldable fabric boxes from Amazon to keep everything tidy, and her sewing machine is on a table from Home Depot that can be raised and lowered. That's nice.
Ooh,
she loves her space. Good job, Noreen. You got it going on. And then Francesca says that she has a stitching corner situation in her bedroom, a chair, TV table, and a basket of whips and some stitching supplies underneath a small TV. So, and then she has a lot of supplies in her office nook. And she's got a variety of drawers and totes to organize all of her stuff. She says she was a binder pad and organizer too, but she's not a fan of how heavy and cumbersome they can be. I recently started switching over to magazine holders too, she said, like you were thinking.
Yeah.
I like it a lot more because it makes the patterns more easily accessible, even in the sheet protectors, and I can organize them better. I need to rethink my floss storage because they're outgrowing the current small multi-drawer box. I like hearing your ideas of how to store and organize them. And then that was Francesca. And then Chris T says that she uses a TV tray ironing board while sewing, like we were talking about. She stapled the top fabric on. Oh, you staple, smart. The top fabric underneath the table with batting in between. I've added a wool mat on it now. I bought this small steam iron from Walmart to use with it. It's perfect setup. That's a good idea. I need a tiny little, one of those little irons, because I have a big iron for clothes, but a little iron for quilting would be great. I do use a normal ironing board when ironing bigger pieces. I use my dining room as permanent sewing area. One day I might be able to move to a spare bedroom, hopefully. So she's looking forward to seeing your new craft area. And then Homespun in Wales. I was kind of jealous reading about your place. She has a crafting space. She has a cabin that out in her garden that houses a long arm quilting machine, an embroidery machine, an industrial sewing machine, and knitting machines, a cutting table, and most of her fabric stash. I'm going to come visit you.
I was going to say, that sounds like a she shed.
Yeah, that sounds great. I have a spare bedroom that's also indoor sewing space and a smaller embroidery machine, my sergers, and everyday sewing machine. I have a fabric storage area in there. Also another cutting table. Yarn is stored in a cupboard in the guest room. I also have messy workshop shed used for woodwork, laser cutting, resin, and dyeing. It sounds like a wonderland in Wales. So that is great. Congratulations on that. And the long arm quilt, you had me at long arm quilting. That's what I'm saying. So this week's question to you, we were thinking, I think we asked this question a long time ago, but I think we have a lot of new subscribers. So it's fun to ask. Oh my goodness, we're 6 away from 600.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So we wanted to ask, because we always talk about them, who are your stitching buddies? So my stitching buddy, as you may know, is an orange-faced little boy who will not leave me alone.
Who's a wool hunter.
And who is a wool hunter who, left to his own devices, would actually eat what is in my lap. His name is Hobbs. He is an orange kitty. He has a brother named Calvin who's very well behaved and very smart and very... He likes sitting on me. He's really more his dad's cat. But Hobbs, just this morning I was knitting and he has to come up from underneath. I have to lift my arm and all my yarn so he can lay there, and then I have to stitch over him, but I wouldn't turn him away in a million years. And then Beth, you have 2 kitties that haunt your stitching.
Yeah, well, you know, and like lately, Snug has been like, he likes to lay under the covers. Like I think because the ceiling fan, you know, gets him a little chilly or something, and so he gets under the covers. But then I have on my bed, I stitch in bed, and so I have on against the headboard, I have like 2 pillows and then one of those big body pillows and then 2 pillows, right? And so I'm there, you know, leaning on the corner, and so Puck, my other cat, at some point he discovered sitting on top of those pillows on the other side, right? On the passenger side. And so he does that every once in a while. Well, Snug, a couple weeks ago, discovered that spot too, and so now he sits up there. So that he gets under the blanket, and lately, I don't know, he just is restless, kind of.
Yeah. Because
I also have a big cushion, like IKEA pillow kind of thing, beside me that he lies on. That is specifically for him to lie on, and because Pucks are down at the foot of the bed. So anyway, so Snug will get under the covers. He sits there and like paws at the blanket like this.
Get me under.
So I make a little tent for him to get under, and then at some point he gets hot or Puck steps on him, and so I see him wiggling his nose trying to get out of there. So I pick the blankets up. So he gets out and he'll lie it beside me, or then he'll climb up there. And so then at some point he goes back and forth.
Yep.
And so like when he's under the blanket, I'll put my project bag or my stitch or whatever up here on the top of the pillows. But then he wants to get up there, so I have to move everything out of the way. And then he wants to get over here. So I'm like, stop moving, pick a space. And but
Hobbs will lay on his side beside me, like he gets right here,
Mm-hmm.
kind of under my arm, so I'm stitching over him like this. And he's laying on his side, and he has his feet up against my rib cage here.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll do that, and I'm like, stop! If you don't want to be here, there's down there my legs. There's somewhere else. And then he'll with his back feet. I'm like,
Yeah, Rogue kicks
kicking me.
She comes in, she's like, oh, close to me, and then she's like, move.
Yeah.
So you have a little dog that sits on you.
Yeah, she'll sit on my neck sometimes. She loves to sit right directly behind me, but then of course I can't lean back. She'll curl up beside me most of the time, and then if she gets hot, she goes and like, I'll go find someplace more comfy.
Yeah. So we'll get down after he's been either like in my legs, under a blanket, or on top of my fuzzy blanket or something, because I'll sit in my chair with a blanket over me, because even though it's 100 degrees outside, we're cold because we have the air conditioner down, so I have a blanket, and it's my favorite thing, and don't judge me. And but he'll be on my legs, and then every once in a while he'll jump down and he'll get on the floor and he'll just stretch out like I'm hot. But so we want to know, who are your stitching buddies?
Yeah, I was gonna say with the Puck though. Puck's not. He's very affectionate, but he's not very cuddly. And
Does he supervise all your stitching?
Kind of. Like he wants to be, cuddled and held and everything, in a way.
Yeah.
But not cuddled up.
Yeah.
Like Snug will lie against me and sleep on my arm or against my body or whatever. Puck kind of doesn't want to do that, but like I'll be sitting there and like I'm lying on a little bit on my side, and he'll come walking up my hip, and that's fine. But then he's like, I have a little light right here over my shoulder, kind of on my stitching, and so he'll come up here and like stick his face in the way of the light, and so it's like I'm trying to stitch and I'm like I can't see, and or he wants he wants to rub his head against me, and so I'll pat him a little bit, but then I'm trying to stitch and he's like he's like, get out of the way. I love you with all my heart. Get out of the way.
So lately I have 2 dogs.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
now Hank is joining the crowd.
Oh, and he'll come and he'll just come and just. Because if Rogue is over there, he's like, I'm a big dog, I don't really fit there.
But I could try.
So I get Rogue to move and then flump.
He'll jump on.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, but he'll just come and stare at me like,
Can I join? Cute. He's so sweet.
he is a very sweet dog. Although when we had some people coming to give us an estimate on junk removal, and I had locked up both dogs before they got there, and he was sad, and he was going, and I was like, whoa, this dog doesn't make any sound. What's going on now?
He's so quiet usually, huh?
Yeah, he's very quiet. He doesn't bark. Nothing.
Yeah, like when the I guess it was the appraiser. It was either the appraiser or the inspector. I think it was the appraiser though. That we had to kind of wait so we could let him in the house. But so we had to load up all the cats and the dogs in the car so we could be out of the house for a while. But so he came up to the, we were in the driveway, and he came up to the side of the car to talk to Eve, and Eve could let him in the house. And the dogs are going crazy, of course, because Rogue thinks it's her job to alert the universe that somebody is here. And so I'm sitting in the car, and Rogue's barking, and I'm like, shush, shush, shush. And all of a sudden, roof! And I'm like, what the heck was that? The big dog.
It was Hank.
Because he's quiet all the time, as silent as the grave, as I said.
And when Robert
And
comes
just-
home really late or doesn't come home at all,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put him to bed by himself in Robert's room. That just sounds mean.
Mhm.
So he's sleeping on my bed, and sometimes I'm like this, and I got a dog over here and a dog over here, and I can't even roll over, and I'm like, no.
So tell us about your
Yeah.
stitching buddies. Who keeps you company while you're stitching?
Mhm.
Even if it's just your husband. No. I'm just this week I got the opportunity to go to a writers' conference, and of course, part of writers' conferences is buying everybody's books. But I heard Amanda Iyer Ward speak, and she was amazing. And so I bought her book. This is called The Lifeguards. She does a lot of I think she's written the Jet Setter series. I had not heard about her, but I really liked her. Excuse me. I liked her personality, and I thought if that comes through at all in her voice, that'd be fun. Excuse me. And this is a book of poetry by J. Bruce Fuller. I heard him speak as well. He works at a university press, so he was speaking about publishing and how to get published. What editors wish every writer knew. And that was what he talked about, but I was also intrigued by him, so I bought his poetry and just reading a few of them. They're really good. And then Matt Bell spoke. He's a professor at ASU, and he's written a couple of fiction books, but he wrote a writing book called Refuse to be Done, How to Write and Rewrite a Novel in 3 drafts. So that, I really like that idea. So it's a craft book. And then the keynote speaker was Sandra Cisneros, who wrote The House on Mango Street is her most famous novel. And she was there. She gave a workshop and a keynote talk. And I'm sorry, what's wrong with me? And I got her book. This is signed, so that's kind of cool. This one is Carmelo. She's written a lot. And I was like, I don't know what to buy next. And she had a small book that I learned after was her favorite one, which I should have bought that one. But this one looked really interesting as well, Carmelo. So that was my book haul for the week. It was very informative, very kind of overwhelming, drinking from a fire hose kind of weekend. But it was good. It was good, and good to kind of be away from the office for a little while and do something different. So that was my week.
So yesterday, I decided to call my insurance company. I had some questions, based on coverage, and I needed to change my address. And one of the things, they're like, "Have you done a health assessment?" I'm like, "No." And I thought they meant the nurse coming to the house. She was just answering some questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "I can do that right now. They'll give you $10 in your card." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, and I was like, I've never contacted a big company like that and had somebody that answered all my questions. When she didn't know when she didn't know the answer, she said, "Let me put you on hold, and I'm gonna go." And she came back and she had an answer,
Yes.
And when I was changing my address, she goes, "It's not the same city, so I need to make sure that you're not moving out of your coverage area. You may need to change over to a different coverage or whatever." And I said, "I don't think so. It's great at Phoenix area, but you go ahead and check." No, I was right, but it was good that she checked rather than just.
You mean you got good customer service?
I got good.
You got great customer service.
I got great customer service, and you color me flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Because
good to know.
usually you're on the phone forever, and you hang up the phone like this.
What was it? Jerry Seinfeld said that cell phones, you can't be angry anymore when you hang up. You used to be able to like, bam, and now you have to go, I'm really mad. I just realized my little pumpkin, I knit this pumpkin, that I turned it so that you couldn't see the little stem. It's so cute. That pattern, that was such a beautiful pattern. I'm really proud. When I took it out today, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. That is by, his web channel is called Nimble Needles. I can't remember his exact name. But if you look up Nimble Needles, he has tons of tutorials and lots of patterns, and that was one of his patterns, and I bought it. It was so cute and easy to do. I don't even remember having any trauma associated with that pattern. It was really nice. So, but I really like his tutorials. They're really, for knitting, they're really good. There's a few teachers I watch. I watch him, I watch Roxanne Richardson, and I watch Very Pink Knits. So if you're dabbling in knitting, those are 3 really great online teachers I can recommend. So.
Now, if you're learning to crochet or knit, Naomi and I are not kidding about dark colored yarns. When I taught people how to crochet, I was like, I want you to buy a light colored yarn.
Yep.
Light pink, white, light blue. I don't want to see any dark colors.
Right, because yep.
But how about a green?
No.
Is it lime green?
Yeah.
Is it pastel green? Because those are yeses. Is it regular dark forest green? No.
I know. I did a little for
Talk
a
about
very
getting
short,
yourself frustrated.
Right, I did a very short, I say short because it didn't get off the ground, but we wanted to do a knitting class at the symphony. There was a lot of people interested at lunchtime, and it never got off the ground because people got busy. But the summer ended and it was time to get back to real seasonal work, and it was But anyway, that was one of my things. I'm like, people just said, "What if we give you money and you buy us yarn?" And I'm like, okay. But yeah, it has to be light colored, otherwise you can't see your stitch definition.
As you're getting better and better, you can move into darker, but you still.
But you know what?
Still.
When I cleaned Hannah's room out, I gave away a very large bag of yarn to Goodwill, because and one of it was, I want to say, it was like Red Heart. Can you hand me a Kleenex? It was like Red Heart yarn. Sorry, my nose is running for some reason. Oh. It was Red Heart yarn, but it was like it was brown and white barber poled. And I really liked it because the thing I wanted to crochet was a little couch for cats. Mm-hmm. I have these patterns. There's a whole bunch of different couches. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that looks like kind of like old-fashioned upholstery, like that brown and white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it would look great. So there I go. I get started, and I do a strip like this, and on my way back, and I've been crocheting since forever, and I could not discern the stitches well enough to even know where to put the hook. And I'm like, and so I stopped working on it. And I kept thinking, I should go back and do that. And it was sitting, all the yarn was sitting in my big dream box on the bottom, on the door, like this, skein, 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 skein. And one of the skeins had that little strip attached to it, and it was sitting there for, I don't know, how long have I lived in this house? For a long time. I think I was planning to make it for Tyler and Pippin, my last set of cats. Mm-hmm. It's been that long. And I finally looked at that, and I'm like, I am never going to do that. Because I couldn't pick it up right now and tell you how many stitches were in that row or anything, because the barber pole of the yarn then crossed on itself 1,000 times. In crochet, it's completely blinding.
So if you're learning and you're finding it really, really, really super frustrating, it might just be your yarn.
Yeah.
the color of the yarn makes huge difference in how easy it is to see your stitches. And that black yarn that I have to have the light you gave me, and the light on here, and the light over here, and and glasses on, and nothing barring my concentration. And then I guess at how many stitches it's been.
I know, it's awful.
Because I'm
so I gave that yarn away because I'm like, the only reason I bought that yarn was for that project, thinking that would make a cute little kitschy, kind of looking couch. And and then I realized I'm never gonna, and it's because it was acrylic yarn. There's no other reason I would ever use it for anything else. I'm not gonna, make a So I just gave it away. But I still want to make a couch. I think it would be cute.
I will say that it makes me wonder like how Grandma used to crochet by feel, basically. When because at a certain point she had really bad cataracts, and she eventually got cataract surgery, but she was like 90 something. But so there was a long time where she couldn't really see very clearly, and like she couldn't discern. People she would just get yarn because she would like a tick. She would crochet all the time, and so she couldn't tell the difference between blue and black. Because of the color, because of her eyes. But she would crochet nonstop, just all the time.
But that's why some of the stitches weren't connected.
Yeah. But it's like but I guess because she had been doing it her whole life, she could just do it by feel.
But even then, but I mean, you're just. But you know what's interesting? Like those woobles. I've said this before, but the wooble kits are just like all the rage. But one of the things that makes it so easy to learn with that yarn is because it does not fray. It's a tubular yarn instead of a twist yarn like this that has different plies, and so you can't split it, and so you don't wind up accidentally splitting your stitches or poking it through, and so I was like, when I accidentally got that kit and made it, they're in the bedroom, and cats are crying. When I accidentally got the kit and I made the thing, I was like, no wonder. And this was before they were like crazy like they are now. And the fact that I just said woobles means on my phone I'm going to have ads on woobles now.
At McDonald's, one of the prizes is a wooble.
Yeah, one of the
really?
Monopoly prizes.
Apparently that's fun.
Well, it's because they're doing prizes that are more than $100. So.
Oh wow. But yeah, so that's why those are so popular. So if you really have an itch to learn to crochet, I would actually say get one of those woobles kits, because the yarn is easy, the instructions are good, and it starts it for you, which is the hard part. And once you know you like crochet, then you can work on getting started with crochet, because sometimes just like with knitting, casting on is the hardest thing. Sometimes, not the hardest thing. It's not the hardest thing, but it can be, and can be very frustrating. And so when have that frustration at the beginning of your journey into knitting, or is makes you not want to do it. Well, and so that's what's neat about it.
The same is true with cross stitch. I'm stitching right now on black, and so I'm and there's a lot of people that they just find that they just can't. Now I don't find it as difficult as that, but
it's nothing
but starting your cross stitch, how do I start it? Are you going to do a middle start? You're going to do a top corner start? You're going to do a bottom corner start? How are you going to start it? And those things are the things that are hardest to learn. Why do I want to do it here or there or the other place?
Yeah.
And casting on, what's the easiest way to cast on? A foundation stitch in crochet, they have these new, it's not new, but, where you do the first row and the cast on at the same time, not cast on, but the foundation of a stitch the same time. And I would love to be able to do that. I've tried it several times and I can't do it. And I just go, okay, I'll just do 2 rows.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I know, and it's so.
I think that's why, like, a lot of people start when they start to cross stitch, start on O.G.I.P because it's easier to find the holes. It's easier to to make your easy X's and stuff like that. Whereas linen for some people is very confusing because you have to make sure that you're
confusing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're leaving a hole in between the two that you're stitching in or whatever. And even if, like I've been doing it forever, and I'll accidentally stick the needle in the wrong hole, and sometimes I'll see it, and sometimes I'll see it like several rows later. I'm like, oh, look at that stitch, it's in the wrong place. But so yeah, it's
well. And the other thing is too, if you're starting and you're encountering mistakes, to not be discouraged by them because that's part of learning.
When I was working as a musician, I had students, that they'd start with, and I used to play on plastic reeds. Oh, big scandal. But I was very staunch about it because anyway. But one of the things that with the students that I was teaching, a lot of times I would start them on plastic reeds because you're not fighting that aspect of playing and
and also learning
because you're learning the machine, as I used to call it. You're learning how to operate the machine, put your fingers in the right place, use your breath the right way, and do all these sort of mechanical things before you learn how to make music. Because learning how to make music, of course, is what you're aiming for. But in the meantime, you've got to learn how to operate the machine first. And so the easier it is to operate the machine, to have a reed that works every time you play it or whatever, makes it that much easier to concentrate on the other things.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with crafting, that if you're having a hard time with whatever your materials are, simplify it as much as you can. Use a simpler fabric, use a simpler...
Start with a simple pattern.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing, like with cross stitch, I always, because they're
fall
so
in love with
pretty.
the beautiful ones.
Yeah, you fall in love with something super fancy and complicated, and you're like, and you're overwhelmed, and then you give up, and you wind up giving it to your sister 10 years later. It's like you want to start with something small that's achievable. That's like, okay, I can do that, and then maybe go a little bigger, not go for something small to still some other thing that's giant. That's why, like in knitting, everyone starts with a scarf because it's just a rectangle, and your scarf might be this size at the beginning, and then be this size, and then go back to this size, and then go like this. But that's all part of learning. Like, okay, I think I don't have the same amount of stitches. Or happens a lot in crochet, because when you turn it to go back the other way, you have to get that first stitch in the right place to make sure you stay the same amount to go back. And a lot of times you don't, or you skip one or something, and it starts to shrink or it grows. And so that's all part of learning.
Yeah, with the blanket, after every set of stitches, not row, set of rows, she's like, don't forget to put a holder there on your last stitch so it doesn't unravel, and count your stitches.
Yep.
Yeah. And the last time I counted them, and I'm like, one too many stitches. And I was like, I am not pulling this whole thing out to figure out why I have one too many stitches.
Right.
But I have to keep that in mind for the next time, so that I know that I need to compensate for having one too many stitches.
Right. And here's another public service announcement. You are more likely to do those things when you sleep stitch.
Yes.
So put it down.
I wasn't sleep stitching.
No. Well, so that's that little cross mistake. I know it's because I was sleep stitching. But I did, when I decided to make this pattern, I watched 1,000 videos, and then there's a yarn shop. I can't remember the name of it right now. Something Dragon. that I think I mentioned this, did a knit along, and so the owner of the shop made a bunch of very small technique videos to kind of explain some of the more complicated stitches. And one of the things she said, I think it was her, was in this part of the, I don't know if you can see, in this part of the stitching where there's these lacy holes, you see this? So you do this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 rows or 6 rows of stitching that creates these holes. And even though there's it looks like only 3, because you have a row in between each, like it's basically made with yarn overs. And yarn overs and then decreases. So if you're not on your right stitch count, and I've seen a lot of people say, yeah, I messed up. You can see right here in the front, like 3 of the flowers are half, like, so it's supposed to go 1, 2, 1 like that, right? Supposed to have 4 holes. And so in some of her things, the 2 holes in the middle were off, or the bottom 3 were off, or something. And so I had seen a lot of this kind of stuff, and one of the things that she said was for that section to put stitch markers, and it's every 6 stitches, and it's you have 1,000 stitches, stitch markers around the whole thing. But that, because then you can count to 6, and if you messed up in that space of 6, then you can, okay, that's not right, go back. And you're only going back 6 stitches. You're not going back, oh, I see it way on the other side, 200 stitches over there, you know. So breaking it up into chunks that you can digest, kind of like your snowman, you know, because you have those grids and you can see in a small amount right away. That's like, I guess, Elizabeth Zimmerman, one of the knitters who's a great knitting teacher in history. She had a thing she would say is, admire your work. And she wasn't saying that to be silly or to pat yourself on the back, but when you pull it back and you look, you're like, oh, there's a mistake right there. Before it's too late to fix it.
I try to count my stitches on every row, that the row makes it where it's not a challenge. You know, like right now with the little sweaters, you know, it's kind of weird to try to count them. But before that, I was counting them. And that row is just 3 chain, 1 single crochet, 1 chain, 1 single crochet, 3 chain, 1 single, right? And I would go back and look, and I'm like, I left off the 1, 1, 1, you know? And so your count at the end,
it's all messed up,
is wrong. And the sooner you catch that, the better. And 2 times I was at the end and went, this is not right. And you go back and you find where the mistake is. And it was always on that 1, 1, 1. I would just do 1. You know?
Yeah, and so that same thing happened in my 4 trials of the beginning of this sweater. You know, you get to the end and the count doesn't work out. So you're like, oh, all right. But at least you're just going back 1 row. You're not like, well, like this mistake I made, I didn't admire my work. I didn't make sure that all those, you know, slips are exactly right. And so, but yeah, so she says that, admire your work. And I like that idea, because then you can catch mistakes before it's really too late to do anything about them. Or, you know, sometimes it is too late and you just have to be like, do I make peace with this or the whole thing out?
You know another thing? Weave in ends as you go.
Yes.
I have to weave in some ends right now, but I spent a whole day weaving in ends.
I like it because a lot of times when you have ends that are not woven in, especially in knitting, the stitches are loose and big, and then it kind of, you know, you have to wait a few rows, but then you can go and tidy them up and before they get really distorted, because it also distorts it, just not only that stitch but the one next to it and the one after that, so you can get them all tidy. And I don't cut when I weave them in. I don't cut the ends, because when I block things, I don't want them to pop out. So I leave long ends until I'm done blocking. But yeah, no, I like, the only end I have right now is this one at the beginning. But I even thought about weaving it in a minute ago. But yeah, it's, you just try to break things up and then things aren't so overwhelming. But yeah, I think we need to be done with this week.
I need to go sleep.
Me too. And get ready for dinner and all those things. So thank you so much for joining us again. Let us know about your knitting buddies, and we will see you again. Stop yawning, Eve. You do need to go take a nap. All right, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.